Hello, is this your first time here at our clinic? Okay, so you'll need a brief explanation of what we do, and then I'll give you a more in-depth explanation when we sit down over here and I can show you actually. This is a reflexology clinic. It's also known as zone therapy. Reflexology is a type of alternative to modern medicine. It focuses on pressure points in 3 different areas of the body, which are the hands, the ears, and the feet. Today we'll be focusing on the hand. And the different pressure points in the hand correspond directly to other parts of your body. So if you're having an issue with some other part of your body, there are pressure points in your hand that can be manipulated to at least help alleviate some of the stress or some of the pain related to that other part of your body. And this includes internal organs. We don't really have time to do ears and feet, but with the hand I can sit you down and show you each area and what it corresponds to on the body, and give you a more in-depth explanation of how it works. And if you enjoy it, then we can come back and later and maybe do the feet and the ears, and you can let me know in another session any issues you are having with your body, and maybe we can work on those directly with your hand. Okay, so if you will, just have a seat over here and I'll get started. Okay. We're going to begin by turning the hand over palm facing up, and what we're going to do is I'm going to start at the fingertips and I'm going to work my way down, showing you all the way down to the wrist area where it stops. If you want to, you can imagine everything in reflexology on these points on the hand relates to some other part of the body. And if you would like to imagine this is the top part being the head, and then working your way all the way down to this very bottom part, which would be your bladder area. So think about that, about the body from the head down to there. So I'm going to start with these first 2 fingers, the index finger and the middle finger. And at the very tip of the fingertips is the brain area. This is for the areas for the brain. After that, right underneath is also a brain area, but it's also related to the sinuses and the head. And as you can see, as I'm talking, like, you can understand what I mean by it corresponds directly to the actual body. And if you go down below that, in this area, this is for the neck and the sinuses as well. And again, we're just working with these 2 fingers because once I get down to the base of it, there are corresponding areas that do not relate to the last 2 fingers. So after the neck and the sinuses, you move down to this area. It's the base of the index finger and the base of the middle finger, and that is supposed to be the areas related directly to the eyes. And then there's a small area right here that is direct correlation to the top of your shoulder. Okay, alright, so that takes care of the first 2 fingers. The second 2 set of fingers we're looking at here. Your ring finger and your pinky. The top two parts still correspond the same as the first 2 fingers, this being the brain area, the second half being the neck and the sinus area. But after that, once you get to the bottom, the area right here, there's a small area about the size of a fingertip between the ring finger and the middle finger. This area directly corresponds to the inner ear area. Just this one spot. It's a very small spot on the hand, but it directly corresponds to the inner ear area. And then after that, as these areas were directly related to the eyes, these parts here are directly related to the ears. And after that, this side just as this one is, directly corresponds to the top of the other shoulder. Okay, so moving down, right after that, this area is for the ribs. It's a small band right here, and then right underneath that is a larger band that is for the lungs and the chest and the breast area. And then directly corresponding to that over here to the thumb, that goes over, and that is also a lungs, chest, and breast area. Right above that being the neck, and then above that being the sinuses and the head, and then the tip being the brain, just like the other fingertips. However, on the thumb, there are glands right here. This is the thyroid. It's right here in the center, in the middle part. Then there is the pineal gland. That's right here on the inner part of the thumb, and the pituitary gland. These are all very tiny parts, very small parts. They don't take up much of a surface area on the thumb. And then as you go down below the thumb, right here in this connecting area between the palm and the thumb, you have the heart. This area right here is for the heart. And then going further on, there's a tiny band right under the heart that kind of makes a shape like that. That's for the diaphragm. Right underneath that is the pancreas. Now we're getting into the inner organs. Pancreas, right here. The kidney is right there. It's a little bit of a larger area. The adrenal gland is right behind the kidney. It's a very small area right here. After that, there is the small intestines. It takes up a good part of this area right here. After that, if you can imagine, there's, around the small intestines, just like in the body, there's this other band that makes like a circular C shape. That is a transverse colon, which moves all the way down here to the rectum area that is right there. And then directly underneath that would be, if you're a female, it would be the fallopian tubes. And then directly below that, an extremely small line is for a sciatic nerve. Okay, so moving back up, we're going to go, on the outer part of the hand right here is for the hip and the pelvis area, much like we were right up here, and this was for the shoulder. If you go down this way, this is the shoulder, the upper chest, arm area, leg, the knee, and then like I said, the hip and pelvis is right in this crevice here. So at the very bottom right here, right under the hip and pelvis would be either the ovaries or the testicles, depending on male or female. And then on this side over here, there's a very small area that is for the uterus and then for the bladder. Again, they're very small areas right in here. But that, for the most part, is for the hand area, at least for the palm part of it. Okay, so now we're going to go to the, we're going to turn the hand over. Show you the top part corresponding areas. Okay, so here we are with the left dorsal hand. A lot of it still corresponds the same as far as the brain, the sinuses, and the neck area. The inner ear again is right here. Again, a lot of it directly correlates, like it comes directly through the hand. If it was one thing on this side, then it comes all the way through to the other. There is one thing though I could tell you that on this side I didn't mention before, I don't think, was the spleen. Some of it is a little bit more exposed on this side. on the dorsal side than the palms. One thing that is notably different between the left hand and the right hand is the right hand has a direct link to the liver. It would be more in, assuming this is, I'm not going to get him to switch hands for me, but it would be in this area here, which is, it does not correspond to the left hand. While the left hand had an area that was mostly for the stomach, this side is for the liver. It also has the gallbladder on it, which would be about right here. And then the rest is, for the most part, like I said, the shoulders, top of the shoulders, the arms, the legs, go down to the knees and the hip and pelvic area. The main areas on the hand that you would use for reflexology. So after going over that, if you had a particular area that you were trying to work on, maybe an area they were having issues with, let's say that they were having inner ear trouble, feeling dizzy, you would want to work on that area that's right there for them. There's lots of different ways you can do that with reflexology. But again, if this was just to show you mainly all the different intricate parts on one hand that correspond directly to other parts of your body, and all of which can be worked and used in reflexology to help relieve stress, to help relieve pain, to help with any type of issue you might be, physical issue that you might be having with that part of your body.